of this, so kind of learning as we go.
Cool.
Nothing wrong with that. I'll go to start somewhere this.
I got a question for the group here. So I took a hiatus for like a year, and the skill tree is kind of confusing. It's like the little like red icons, like the skill points for the skill tree. Like I had some of them on the old Macs, but is there a way to get more now that we're on the new system, or do you have to pay C-bills to get get more points along with like general?
Let me pull a video for you real quick. I made a tutorial exactly for that. Let me pull it real fast here. Here we go. Make a skill tree. Whoops. I want the. There we go. Let's see here. Bum, bum, bum. How to purchase skill points. Here we go. I can't remember.
Alright, I'll be back.
I think this is the one I just posted in territories.
Roger that.
Basically, yeah, this is it. It explains to you how to find the purchase new skill points. Right. I'm gonna jump up and how to go through that, and get the skill points you want, what currencies you can use for it, all that good stuff. And then lastly, how to apply it. Add SP. All right, 1 second. Don't click anything. But basically, the short answer is yes, you can. All you have to do is you go in there. There's a button on the. I think it's toward the bottom right of the purchase panel when you're looking at the skills window. And it should say something like Add SP. It might be bottom left. I can't remember which side. But you click the Add SP button, SP being skill points, and it takes you to another window, and it'll say like Add Historical or Add Generic or whatever. And the left side is Historical. That's if you have historical skill points, like if you have a pool of them from your modules, or if you have a pool of them from the mech. Do you understand what I mean by a pool of skill points?
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, those are the ones refunded to you. On the right side of that box, they're going to have your generic ones, which you can get using XP you've earned, GXP that you earned or has been refunded, or historical XP, which was XP you had on the mech, or rather the mech chassis, when the new skill tree rolled out. And it's been historical XP that's refunded to you, and it's called HXP. And so you can apply it towards any variant on the chassis, just like you can apply GXP toward any mech. But
sure.
The limitation for HXP is it's only for that chassis. that variant, rather, that variant. Well, no, it would be chassis, actually. It would be chassis, because the old skill tree covered, you had to have 3 of a kind and unlock skills for that chassis in the generic sense.
But so okay, so let's say I buy a mech today, like a new one that I haven't had before. I'm gonna have to spend like experience and C-bills to unlock the points, right?
Yes, Degas, I can't invite you if you're in a group. But yes, you'll have to. Yeah, if you don't have any skill points left over from
I'll join up if you want to.
At all, but you can check your. If you go to the very top right, there's a button. It says Ledger or something like that. And you can actually look at how much was refunded to you to make sure it jives. But if you don't have any skill points left over at all, then you'll have to purchase skill points using your XP, GXP, or HXP, one of those 3 from the experience point side of things, plus C-bills.
Okay.
So yeah, so you've only got one type C-bills on the currency side, but then on the XP side you got 3 choices. Generally speaking, because HXP can be spread across the chassis, the variants for that chassis, and because GXP can be spent on anything, I try to use any current XP first. That way I husband the more valuable HXP and ultimately GXP, so I can use it on other mechs that may not have as much XP already ground out on them.
Yeah.
Shoot me an invite, Nightmare.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Invite out to Iska and now to Degas.
I ain't got nothing else going on, so
How goes
I'll
the
just.
tugboat?
I hate it, but it's a job, so.
I hear that. Hurricane Irma hurt us pretty badly.
Sounded like it.
We went from 10 million boxes projected down to 3.8 million boxes projected as far as citrus.
Damn.
Wow.
And it looks like we might get 4.5 million now. The crop outlook improved slightly. But basically, we're getting 50% of what we thought we'd get.
Dude, I was in fucking Houston for Harvey. We were riding that shit out. Dude, that was a shit show. The fucking fleet barges broke loose, and there was barges everywhere, and it's a miracle nobody died.
That's got to have been freaky.
Oh man, 3 a.m. the general alarm goes off. I hop out of bed. When I hop out, I'm gonna like jump out and haul ass up to the wheelhouse, try to figure out what the hell's going on. I didn't even have time to throw on anything other than my pajamas, and my boots.
Jammers and boots.
Yeah, I mean we had to go stabilize it.
Blue, I sent you an invite. It's optional. You can keep dropping if you want, or you can jump in lobby with us. Either way, training night usually lasts roughly an hour, and then we go back to running drops.
Yeah, I could use some practice.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna throw you over onto red team.
I'm not sure if I want to take this monstrosity or not.
All right, looks like we're set. Once everybody in red team ready's up, we will drop.
Hang on, let me
No problem. Take your time if you need to. Let me pull up Studio's questions he posted. Viper's freaking out over the faction poll. He barely plays the game. He wants to manage the poll pretty carefully, but he's missing stuff. He keeps popping in right after stuff happens, and he's like, "What happened? What happened?" Poor guy. My life must be pretty busy for him right now. I think he's going through some stuff. Okay, so Studio, you had some questions about group lobbies and such. So while we're right here in the lobby, let me run through what's here on the screen. So obviously you've got Team 1, Team 2, blue and red. If you have multiple team captains, like I'm a team captain and right now Studio, you're a team captain, you can join the private lobby. Like I could send invites and you could send invites. And so let's say you didn't want your team to see what the mechs were that I had when you invite them. So instead of having me invite everybody to the lobby, which would put them on Team 1 automatically when they enter, you would invite your teammates, and so they would pop up on Team 2 automatically when they enter. It's just a little nuance that you can do if you're ever in a private lobby. You can move people around between lances pretty freely, like I'm throwing Dugas around right now.
Oh.
And let's see, of course you get the ready buttons. You cannot launch until everybody ready's up. And if you have anybody that's not supposed to be in the lobby, or that gets disconnected, or is AFK for a long period of time, you can hit the kick button to kick them out. It's pretty straightforward, very similar to other lobbies in other games. On the left side, you got drop-down menus. Skirmish, if you hit that, which you can't because you're not the lobby leader, but if you're able to follow along in Twitch, even with the time delay, you'll see what I'm highlighting right now, which is all 6 of the game modes: Assault, Conquest, Skirmish, Domination, Escort, and Incursion. Excuse me. You can also do the same thing with maps, and you can scroll down, pick any map you want, including the test maps even. You can choose the server, which I always leave North American, time of day, which I want day. You can also choose random, dusk, etc. Time limit, which the max is 20 minutes. I always take 20 minutes for training night. Sometimes we do 2 matches, sometimes it's 1, sometimes 3, depends on what everybody wants. View mode, that basically means you can lock it into first or third person or both. Third person is if you hit F3, it pans out behind your mech. And that's just so that if you have specific rules for a tourney of sorts, you can limit that down. Stock loadouts, you can force everybody to use stock loadouts on their mech. We don't usually do that, but it's a pretty neat feature. You can also, underneath that, choose yes or no to ignore enhancements, which basically means you are ignoring quirks. You can set tonnage rules beneath that. You can limit a minimum tonnage or a max tonnage. And then Iskram asked a question about consumables. Yes, if you use consumables in a private match, it does charge you for the consumables a restocking fee. If you have a little checkbox checked on. So if you don't want to use money in a private match, don't equip consumables. If you don't mind it, run them. And then of course full teams, you have to put to no unless you have 2 teams of 12. And then the left side, you have spectators. So if somebody wanted to spectate, like Iskron, for example, we can put him over there, and then he has the spectator camera. He can fly around the map and look at things, and jump in and out of cockpits in both teams, etc. Any questions on lobby?
Can you hit F7 and do the spectator camera in the private matches like you can in training or testing grounds?
F7.
Yeah, so that's a feature they just added in the patch. You hit F7 and it puts the camera outside your mech and you can pan around.
This past Tuesday?
Uh-huh.
I did not know that. That is
So you
cool.
can get screenshots of your mech from different angles or whatever.
Cool.
I have got to check that out. I did not see that in the patch notes.
So I didn't know if you could do that in the private lobby.
Well, we probably are about to check it out.
Yeah.
I would assume no, just because for one thing, it would be cheating if you could pan out and run around and look at other people's mechs.
Uh-huh.
You know, in an actual match. But once you're dead, well, even once you're dead, if you could do that, you could then relay information to your team. So I'm gonna guess no, but we'll try that and see what happens when we launch here. All right, here we go. First thing everybody does is hit F7 as soon as we launch. But yeah, I didn't know they had put that into the testing grounds. I'm gonna have to go try that out now.
Oh wait, F7 turns your HUD on and off. F5? Is it F5 lets you pan around?
Okay, tip 4. I was wondering if they changed F7 the HUD. It used to be right shift plus F11 turned your HUD on and off.
Oh, it's actually
Alright,
Alt
so don't shoot each other
F4.
yet. Just move to the center of the map. We'll meet at the Citadel.
Yeah. Alt F4. You know, it's always funny when that pans out.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, don't shoot each other yet. Move to the Citadel. And if anybody's got questions about builds, cover, anything like that, we'll cover all that, and then we'll shoot each other in the last 5 minutes or so. Sound good?
I'm just here to help with training.
Cool beans. Alright, I've got to try it offline.
Nope, doesn't work.
F7 does work.
F7 does.
That's good to know. Yeah, I thought it was still right shift and F11.
Here's how you make a hot ass mech right here. Jesus.
So, Studio, you had asked about group drop strategies in your PM. On River City, you have 2 basic strategies. Either go Citadel or go high. Echo 5. Which means either you run across the open water to Gulf 6 and try to fight or hold, try to take or hold the Citadel, which is the big building structure in the middle of Gulf 6 and Gulf 7, with a platform that wraps around it. Or you run all the way around the map down the Echo line, and you either push into or try to hold Echo 5.
Target acquired.
I hate to
New target acquired.
contradict you, but I've seen the hotel line pushes work before. If you're
Yes,
fast.
you're correct. Hotel line is, I consider that part of the Citadel, because it usually plays around that. But you're right, hotel line and Gulf line both, I should say, together.
New target.
I would
acquired.
consider Gulf Line Citadel, but hotel, you usually make a bum rush into the city and turn it into a knife fight.
Yeah, that can be it's kind of like a Zerg rush. While Upper City tends to be a slower route with more of a flanking opportunity, since most pugs will head down here to Gulf or the hotel lines. Not quite as many go Echo. So if you go Echo, you're a little more exposed because of that long bridge area and the long route all the way around. But the flip side of it is that you often get the high ground behind your enemy and you negate the Citadel and the hotel line, which takes away a strong point that most pugs will go for right off the bat. Typically, you won't see anybody go Fox 6. It happens, but it's not often, mainly because Fox 6 doesn't have a lot of cover, and you're kind of in a low spot no matter where you're at. The map is higher on each end, and so people gravitate toward the high ground because of the tactical advantages. Any questions on that for the map?
Oh, that's cool. Thanks.
No problem. The reason why I picked this map is because this is what we're doing for the Dash Bash, so I thought it'd be a good setting for the training night. And different things you can do with your mech. As the match progresses, there's big fighting. What I like to do on this match, let's say we're fighting at the Citadel. I like to get up here on the Citadel. I like to get right about here in the middle, if I can. You have to be very careful because this can be a double-edged sword. You can easily get trapped and killed in here. If they have people in the hotel line sniping from the oil tanks, you can get mashed up pretty badly. So you have to be very careful playing this position, but it can be very high rewards. I consider high risk, high reward, because a lot of mechs can't hit you effectively up here from the water. So they do a water push. You can often shoot them as they're coming down the pathway right here through the Gulf line where I'm shooting my guns now. And you can put a lot of fire out in that direction if they got snipers set up. If you start to take too much heat, you can sprint back through the gap, pop out this side, and you can hit mechs over here. It offers you a very quick method, a very quick means of traversing back and forth across an entire sector grid, and you can lock down a whole path, an entire row of sectors. The downside, though, like I said, is if they get mechs up here, let's say they got jump jetting mechs that jump up around this area, or maybe over there. Once they're on plane with you, you don't really have anywhere to maneuver. Also, if they put mechs out here, out there, and then of course on the other side, they get you in a crossfire, you have no cover in this middle area right here, because it's just a straight open. Oops, I fell. And so that's kind of the downside. You have to be ready to pull out. You really got to watch your map, and having a UAV is a big help. If you see that they're starting to swarm you and you got to get out of there, I like to just go for the area with the thinnest number of enemies or the most number of allies, whichever one is available, and you just bail off and run for it. Let's see, one thing you could do if you had to is you could jump down here, work your way through the rocks up to the ramp over there and get out. Or you can wrap around and try to come up behind him by going that way. Just different things you can do. Thoughts on that, guys?
Roger that.
If you have a jump jetting mech, that is a sweet spot right there. You can get up on top of the building and you can jump across to this building here.
Heat level
And what you wind up
critical.
doing is you can literally just jump back and forth, just like, right where Blue's at. You can hop up there, and if you got high mounts, you can just peek over the edge and shoot mechs. It's actually even better than the platform because you have better cover, and you can jump across to this building, which gives you even more options. So you can fake people out. They'll set up, they'll pull back, they'll be like, okay, I'm watching. When he pops up, I'm going to hit him. And then you pop up over here instead, and you shoot him, and they're like, what? And then they see you start jumping, and they realize, oh, crud, I can't do anything about that. And of course, it has a better escape route because if they start to push you, or if they got a lot of mechs that with a high angle or jump jetters, you can just retreat back off the back of the Citadel and drop down behind it into Gulf 7, and you got plenty of cover to do that. It's not as easy to get locked in up there as it is right here in the middle of the platform. Alright, we talked about hotel line, not a lot to say about that other than Zerg Rush without a lot of cover. It's best if you have fast moving mechs that can sprint down there and hit the enemy quickly. Let's push up here toward Gulf 7 real quick. So often the fighting, you wind up getting pushed out into here and you wind up in Gulf 7 and it's really nasty. I think it's important because generally speaking, most of your pugs will come down this passage I'm shooting up right here. They'll come down the left side of the Citadel straight towards you. So I always think it's important to have your assaults up here in the buildings. Anchoring the left side, it lets you cover both the hotel and the Gulf line. It might feel like there's not a lot of cover, but there really is. If you're playing it carefully, you can set up your mechs. Like if I come up right here with a direwolf, for example, which I have done before, I can cover the entire Gulf line from this position where my mech is at right now. Can you guys see it? Ooh, I didn't see it. I almost shot you by accident.
Oh, I was trying to set it up for a demonstration.
Right here where I'm shooting. So I can cover pretty much the whole Gulf line And then I can turn and run down the other side of the building and poke out down here where there's the broken, burning building. And I can cover the entire hotel line. And I can get to that position without exposing myself to enemy fire. If I have to, I can then turn around, cut back through the building, and just run back through the buildings like this. And all of a sudden, I can be 4 or 5 or 6 buildings deep into this little park area without ever exposing myself to enemy fire. So it's very valuable for locking down the incoming pathway, and then you do have exit strategies if they start to push you and your allies start to move away from you. You can slip out of there and circle around to meet back up with them. So that's where I like to set up when I'm defending on this map if I have a big mech. If I got a smaller mech, like a light or a medium, I like the middle of the citadel because my agility lets me take advantage of that. If I have a heavy or an assault, I like using the buildings. Let's see, we're going to run up here to the spaceport. By the way, for those that haven't or don't know about the Dash and Bash, it ends tonight at midnight for the heavy mechs. So if you guys want to run the testing grounds on this map and kill all 8 mechs and then submit your time, you can still get in. I don't think we even have 10 entrants, so there's still room in the top 10, which means there's still room in the Bash tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And for those that don't know, basically the Dash and Bash is a 2-part event. The Dash portion, where it's like time trials, you have to clear the testing grounds as fast as you can by killing all 8 of the mechs that are there. You then take a screenshot of your clear time. You post the screenshot along with pictures of your mech's loadout and your skill tree, and that's your entry. The top 10 fastest mechs, the top 10 fastest pilots, I should say, get picked to fight in the Bash the following day, which is Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and they have a free-for-all 10-mech brawl, and the winner of the brawl will go on to the final 5 Bash, which is the winner of each weight class plus 1 crowd favorite. The winners of the Dashes and the winners of each Bash get premium time prizes of 7 days, or a $1 value prize that is equivalent. So, like, you could pick a mech pack, for example, if there's one that matches up with the week's premium time. The winner of the final 5 gets a 30-day premium time code, which, again, if you don't want that and want a mech or something else, you can always get that instead. It just has to be equal $1 value.
Get the piranha!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right,
Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted the piranha too. So we're up here in the spaceport. A lot of mechs spawn up here, and you have the option of going left or right. If you go right, and you decide to push across, you're very exposed. It's going to be a Zerg rush scenario. You've got to get across the bridge. You can't linger. You can't loiter. You got to get up in the hills, about where the twin buildings are where I'm shooting. That's the sweet spot to push across to. Once you've set up a beachhead there, your slower mechs can get across. You can gather by those buildings, then you can push through and sweep the upper city. The reverse is also true. If you're defending here and they're pushing across, you want to set up in these buildings right here on the edge. Like this one right here gives you good cover, and you can rock out, shoot, rock back. You always want to poke on defense like this. You don't want to stay in the open or risk taking too much incoming fire, because they're going to try to be pushing you close to brawl it up, so you need to preserve your armor while wearing theirs down. Also keep in mind the spaceport is very open in the center, so you have to plan your movements. If they start pushing across very aggressively, you have to kind of look at your map, gauge the distance, and know when to fall back and which path you're going to use. You can use these little building barricades here to break up lines of fire as you bob and weave your way back, and you can get all the way back to Echo 8. Echo 8 is critical for defending up here. If you're getting pushed back, you're having to have a running gun battle as you fall back, Echo 8 can be your lifesaver. The reason why I say that is, one, it's got the most cover up here at the moment, and two, you have actually three paths out. The first path is if you decide to just drop down over here. You can run up and you can just drop down a little passageway. At that point, you can decide if you want to try to flank, if you think there's an option there, or you can use the passageway to protect yourself while you pull back into the city. You can also drop off anywhere along the lip, or run down the ramp over here. I like coming down this little ramp because it's got a little more cover and it lets you curve back into the Fox 8 city area, which has a little more options in terms of fleeing. And then lastly, if you want to gamble on a long run, you can run all the way down there and around. Or if you have a nimble mech, you can run up here, which Studio knows firsthand what that's like, right?
Oh yeah.
That Phoenix Hawk is nimble enough that it can run up there even without jump jets. But if you got jump jets or a nimble mech, you can go over right in here. Otherwise, you got to run all the way down here and around, and you can run up to the 9 line and down the 9 line to escape. This area also, and especially the 9 line, is very important to remember for scouting. You'll find at least, I shouldn't say at least, because sometimes, occasionally you won't, but most of the time you'll find at least 6 data points on the 9 line. Most of them in Fox 9 and Golf 9. So what I like to do on scouting is when you spawn, like in Hotel 7-ish, I just go straight to Hotel 9 and then dogleg up to Echo 9, and then cut over here to to Echo 8. And you can pick up like 7 data points, 8 data points that way. A half dozen in Golf 9, Fox 9, 2 or 3 others on the way. You can pretty much get all 10 almost just by running that line. Alright, any other questions on River City? Any differing opinions, comments?
Guess I've never had a match that went back, like back here. Does that happen a lot?
No, not really. Most of them start and end right at the Citadel or over in Echo 5 in the Upper City. A few will get here to the spaceport and fight, mainly in Echo 7, but very, very few matches actually push to Echo 8. The reason why I do cover it, though, is because on Incursion matches, this is actually a path into the enemy base as well. Incursion, you will see more fighting up around in here.
Right, and it's hard to push from this direction when everybody's off in those little buildings because they have so many fields of fire on you.
Exactly.
It's a bad place to push into.
Generally speaking, you won't really see any fighting up here unless you're on Incursion or unless the match just goes so long, there's so few mechs left that they can start really using the map. But even then, typically, you'll see most of them hover around the areas they know best, which are the most commonly used areas of Golf 6 and Golf 7, Echo 5, Echo 7, and Golf 5. Those are the hot spots in this map. 1 minute, I gotta take a drink. Whew, that's some good water. My throat was getting really dry. Okay, any questions, any comments, generic stuff about the game, River City, mechs, anything like that?
So I did like Incursion where like you're like in a team like for clan warfare, but I don't really understand what happens with like the public group Incursion. What's the difference?
Okay, so public group Incursion, actually, if you want, we could just end this match, because we only have 4 minutes left, and start another one that is an actual Incursion match. We could go through the Incursion style. Will that
Sure.
work? Okay, well, let's go ahead and shoot each other up then.
The brethren pastime, killing each other.
LC coming back.
It is. Got a belly full of lasagna.
Oh, I thought I had enough heat to shoot that.
Override engaged. Center torso critical damage.
So are we supposed to shoot our team or the enemy?
Anybody you want.
Target destroyed. Heat level critical.
Enemy has started to chip away at us. Stay
Heat
Oh no.
level critical. Override shutdown. Heat shield destroyed. Torso destroyed.
we are closing in around.
LOL.
I was trying so hard to get you, Blue. Your back was too overheated. I blew
Press
myself up
R.
trying to shoot it.
Biggest help I can give you is press R. There you go.
Oh, your Goss could have finished it. Keep in mind, Goss, your PPCs will not do damage with millimeters.
Critical.
Unless they're ER PPCs.
Or snub nose.
Oh, Blue did the same thing I did.
Critical damage.
There's the Studio and the Goss.
Stay in studio. Stay inside 90 meters.
Studio
He's gonna
push
hit
up
you with
within
those.
90 meters. He can't hit you with PPCs if you do that.
Heat sink destroyed.
So this comes down to weapon type.
Oh, that works too.
3 of us cooked off that round. We're running some hot mechs.
I'm surprised I didn't cook off, dude. I fired so many alphas with that. Oh
That
man.
was awesome. want an invite, LC?
So what are we doing?
We're doing training, but we're also doing incursion mode.
We are doing incursion? It's not showing our clan affiliation. Are we clan or Intersphere?
We are CSJ for 1 more week.
Okay.
Yep, I'll take care of that in a minute.
I already got it.
Okay, awesome. Way to go, LC.
I need to set up my drop deck then.
Alright, invite out to LC.
Thank you, sir.
Oh wait,
Okay,
we're doing it in here?
Your question about faction warfare incursion versus pugging group incursion. Now, when you say faction warfare incursion, do you mean the one with the gates and the big gun you have to shoot and the OGens and all that stuff?
Yeah, so I get all that. I'm just not sure about the pub drop version of incursion.
Because there's incursion in the group and solo queue, and then there's also incursion in the faction warfare queue, and there's an invasion in the faction warfare queue. So just want to make sure you're talking about the actual incursion mode, not the invasion mode.
I guess now I'm confused.
It is a little confusing. We're going to put it on incursion, and we'll take a look and make sure that's the one you're talking about. If not, then I know it's actually invasion. Because used to, it was, I think invasion might have been called incursion, then they changed it all. Can't remember now.
Are we talking about Siege or the quick play version?
No, it was Siege. You're right, it was Siege. It was invasion, now it's Siege. That's right. Is everybody ready to zip? Launch. And again, don't shoot each other. I mean, the turrets will shoot at us and we can kill those, but don't shoot each other. Just wait on this guy.
But I feel like I'm gonna handle my inner cub.
Oh no!
For those that don't know, Lion's Cub was a young child. His dad
He was 10 years old.
Play with us. He turned 10 while in our unit. He was not when he started. He could not follow directions. He would drop. We'd have a special event, the Brethren Rum Off, once a year, to see who's the best Brethren pilot. Ha, not literally, but whoever got bragging rights. We had some major upsets. It was so much fun. But anyways, I digress. So you'd have this event, and everybody's supposed to spawn and then stand in a ring and watch while people fight it out in 1v1s. We'd be standing there, and we're like, all right, nobody shoot each other. The Cub's like, can I shoot somebody on board? No, Cub, your turn's coming up. Next minute later, you see lasers and auto cannon fire come in. You're like, who's shooting? Cub's like, oh, die, Nightmare, die. Or Night Fury. He picked on Night Fury so much. It was funny.
Well, Night Fury was easy to make rage, so it was always fun
to make rage. That's why he picked on him.
Oh, it was him and it was Cub and who's the other kid? Toto, yeah, that just had it out for Fury.
It was the funniest thing. And Cub
because
and Toto had
of all
it
those
for each other too. They had the little preteen thing going with each other.
Yeah.
It resonated and it started hurting your ears.
Oh, I had to because of the crap going between Fury and Toto. I had to ban them for 3 days.
Yeah.
From the website, I actually put a 3-day ban on those two, and told them settle it or no. It was just.
Toto was like 14, Cub was 10.
And Fury's 40.
The only time they weren't fighting each other was when they were fighting with Fury.
Fury's my age. He's 41.
Alright, so we're on Incursion. Is this what you're talking about, Blue?
Yeah, this is the one I'm confused about.
Okay, so there's no difference between this and the Faction Warfare one, except you get respawns on the Faction Warfare one, because you get a drop deck of 4 mechs.
Right.
So otherwise, it's completely identical. Obviously, because you get 4 respawns, the match goes a lot longer, and typically you see more attacks on the base than you would in the public one. The public one generally plays out like a skirmish match in the middle of the game, middle of the map. Everybody just shoots at each other, and that's it.
Well, yeah, the maps are different too, right?
Maps.
Yeah. Well, you get Invasion. They've got the shield walls, don't they? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, if you're right. In Faction Warfare, you're correct. They do have around the drop zones. They do have some additional walls to help protect people from spawn camping.
Yeah. That's probably the best thing they
mode
instituted.
The maps and everything are completely identical, with the exception of those few walls. Now, for Invasion, which is a different game mode but looks very similar to Incursion, Those are different maps, and they tend to be
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Do what?
I think that's what I'm thinking of, maybe.
Yeah, Invasion, they're not in the private lobby, so I can't show you one of them. I think you might be able to drop them on the testing grounds. I can't remember. But
Hey, how do you activate this thing?
activate what thing?
The power, whatever the hell it is, thing I'm standing in.
Oh, that's a good thing to show, actually. Is everybody over here in Fox 6? I'll show you guys how to activate a tower. I've got a battery.
Oh, the one that I think I took that one.
Let me get over there.
LC, you can't grab that one because I took that battery. It hasn't recharged.
Oh, you already got it. That's why.
You have to wait for it to spawn again.
Yes, come on over to Echo 7 on your map. Can't believe we can get over that rock. Battle mechs roll like minivans in MechWarrior Online.
Oh, by the way, I did finally get a chance to read Decision at Thunder Rift and Mercenary Star.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's a great one.
And it made me
says you've
really
got a
want to
battery.
buy
Okay.
the Grey Death Hero.
These walls, by the way, are completely destructible.
Are they? Oh, they are.
Heat level.
Which, by the way, in Incursion, I would recommend going for radar first.
Yes, radar's the powerful one. Alright,
Yeah.
so we're all here. We're gonna look at this thing right here. Now when it's glowing green, there'll be like a little, right where I'm shooting above it, there'll be a little green orb. And that means that it's got a charge available. You can run up to it and you can extract a charge to your mech. Oh, you see that right there?
Yeah.
It just respawns. Now you can pick up a battery.
Okay.
Once it fully loads, you get a battery
Okay.
and you get some points, some cash, and some XP. Now, when you got the battery, you're going to head back to your base this way. And if the turrets shoot at you, take them out. Will help. That way they don't deal too much damage.
Your own turrets will start shooting at you?
Our turrets won't, but they'll shoot at red team. We don't want them.
Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
We don't want them to take too much damage either. So all the walls on Incursion are destructible. You can blow them apart. I just knocked that one down.
Sorry.
Hey, watch it.
Critical.
You can run through the gate, there's no reason not to. I just was showing that the walls are destructible.
Looking good there, Scrum.
Take out the turrets real quick so they don't do too much damage to the reds. Alright, so you have these flags on Incursion. Now, do you guys have your target overlay key mapped to Q still, or have you moved it?
I don't know what you just said.
If you hit the Q button, do you get the target over, all the other stuff to pop up?
Yes.
If you don't know what target overlay is, it basically just puts like all the names and the details
Yeah.
above each mech that has been, above each item that has been identified on radar.
Yeah, that's still the case for me.
Excellent. Okay, you can remap it if you want to, but target overlay is very, very powerful for Incursion for the simple reason that if you look at Fox 9, those of you on red team won't be able to see it, but those on blue team can. Red team, look at your own base over in Fox 3. Oh, it does show it all. Okay, never mind. You can see everything in Fox 9. So if you look at Fox 9, see all the different symbols? It's almost impossible to figure out which tower does what on the fly. On your mini-map, you can't see it unless you enlarge the whole map. But if you hit target overlay, it pulls up the name of each tower so you know exactly which tower does what. And that way you know which one to drop your load off at. So, and then of course it also shows the flags. Now the mobile base flags are important. You have 4 of them, you have to protect them. If all 4 die, and then you lose all 3 of your towers, you lose the Incursion match. So you have to kill 7 items to win. Or you wipe out the enemy team and then put any amount of damage on the base. So long as it's more damage than what they've dealt to yours.
Hey, Static, or Studio, I'm sorry. Studio, can you hit the J key, please?
J will toggle off your ECM.
ECM.
That way it doesn't mess with LC's heads-up display.
There we go. Thank you.
Alright, let's see. Alright, so the first thing is first up here in Fox 9. The jamming tower is the one I'm standing next to that looks like a lollipop or the Epcot Center, depending on your preference. And if you look right here at the base of it, remember what the battery thing looks like? The container where you pick it up? There's another
Oh,
one
okay.
right at the base of the jamming tower. That's where you want to drop your battery off. And again, these walls should be completely destructible. Yeah, these are.
Okay.
Online.
So, LC just dropped his battery off. You see how it's glowing green? And now the tower is spinning at the top, which tells you it's activated. If you want to damage the tower, you actually shoot that part right there. I can't.
You would shoot what?
I can't damage
What, the
my own
bottom?
tower. Somebody in red team shoot the tower where I'm shooting it. There you go. See that? That's how you damage the jamming tower and kill it. Okay.
Oh, okay. From the power. Okay.
Now try shooting the tower here where I'm shooting it.
Nothing.
No damage. So if you're shooting the tower, you're wasting damage. You have to shoot the actual battery. Clear on that?
Because that makes sense.
And again, hit your target overlay to tell which is which. Alright, so moving forward, the radar tower is the one that looks like it has the little airplane up on top. But
That's
it's
an interesting little
like a
effect.
windmill, but it's actually the radar tower. And if I run up, I can drop my battery off like this.
Yeah, it does look like a weather station, doesn't it?
It does look like a weather station.
And once you get there, you don't have to hit Q. If you just cursor over it, it tells you what it is.
Exactly. You can cursor over it and tell. If you're having trouble remembering which is which, though, you can hit your Q button, your overlay, to tell where it's at, and then run over to it. Let's see. I was going to say something else. Oh, it'll come to me. Anyway, so that's the radar tower, and it looks just like a little weather vane. Behind us is the air control tower, and it looks more like kind of like a cross between an air control tower and a fire watch tower.
Yeah. What does it do? I forgot.
It calls down a drop ship on the enemy base. It won't
It'll-
attack the enemy base, but it'll shoot any mechs inside of it that are in.
Oh,
So if they
okay.
decide to base camp, like if you're beating them and they run back to their base to hide in their base, you can call down a drop ship to force them out of their base.
Gotcha. That is an interesting perk there, Fox.
What's that?
Yeah, I didn't actually know that.
I didn't know you could jump through either. If we blow it out from base,
I'm trying it.
it
Yep.
does fall. How
No!
about that? That's kind of cool.
Too funny.
Okay, so that pretty much does it for Incursion. Any questions on Incursion? Everybody good?
Been
on
pretty
Incursion?
straightforward.
I'll be honest, like I've been in like a couple, at least 4 or 5 of these incursion matches, and like none of these things have happened. Like no one's ever like done the objectives.
Oh, they usually get the radar, and sometimes the jammer, and that's about it. I've never
Radar's the
seen.
most important one. Jammer only goes, I think, 600 meters or 800 meters from the base, from
Yeah.
the tower itself. So Jammer's only effective if you're fighting close to the base, and there's really no reason to grab drop ship unless you're fighting really, really close to the enemy base. So really,
the batteries
Radar's the
work-
only one that ever gets grabbed.
The batteries work for any of them, right? You just have to get
Yes.
a battery.
Yeah.
Correct. Battery works on any one of them, and you get points, C-bills and XP for picking up a battery, and you also get C-bills and XP for dropping one off. So it's a little bit of a perk for lights and mediums that decide to run batteries instead of fight.
Unless you're in an Irby.
Is there?
For Invasion, the one you were talking about, Blue, those are different maps, and those tend to be long, narrow choke point maps where the whole point is to see if you can brutally punch your way through enemy defenses to destroy key objectives or protect your key objectives against brutal onslaughts of enemy waves. And that one, if I got a video I should post, let me look for it real quick.
Well, I kept waiting for that to happen, like on these matches, but like that's not a thing. Here.
See, library. Videos. No, playlist.
Cool. The wall kind of breaks up.
Oh, that one's not completely destructible.
No, the
Just
big
the little
towers
sections
with
are.
the air control tower on top, with the guard tower, whatever you want to call it. You
Yeah.
can't blow those down, but they do fall apart, just like the bridges in Crimson Strait, which is pretty cool. Looking for the
The maintenance fee is going to be crazy on this.
This might be it.
Okay, I'm back.
Here we go, found it.
Alright.
It's a minute and 40-second video.
Sorry.
No problem. I'm posting it here under Rim Territories. Alright, it's in TeamSpeak under Rim Territories. The second video link. Basically, that shows you what to shoot in faction warfare. Basically, those generator-looking things that I'm shooting in the Hunchback, that's the generator you have to shoot. There's 4 of those. There's 3 of them sitting on the ground, Ogens 1, 2, and 3, and then these little block structures, they have a little window you shoot through to hit them. The 4th one is hidden inside the Ogen, not the Ogen, inside the Omega gun, but it's covered.
Right.
You can't hit it until all 3 of the other Ogens are dead. When you kill all 3 of those, the cover slides up and you can hit the big Ogen. If you notice in the video, some people that have never played faction warfare before are running around the Omega gun shooting the Omega gun itself. That deals no damage.
Does the O stand for Omega?
O
Yeah.
stands for Omega, yep.
Oh, okay.
So like at about 50 seconds you see a guy shooting the cannon, no damage. You have to shoot the generators. So really it's all about marshaling your forces and then just plowing into the enemy lines and the defenses and trying to kill all the objectives that while you can, versus your enemy trying to hold the line and not let you in. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Or you can do what I do and play sneaky in my ghillie and stealth armor in there and just take stuff out with a Gauss rifle while they're running around confused.
Yeah, that works too. It's pretty
Oh wow, I hadn't even. That's a good idea.
Can someone explain stealth armor?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, Iska. That's your forte.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on.
Heat level
Professor
critical.
Iska is in the house.
Any mech that has any inner sphere mech that has ECM, stupid turrets, can take stealth armor.
New target acquired.
Hang on, let me shut these people up in my background.
Heat level critical.
Sorry. Any inner sphere mech with ECM can take stealth armor. It weighs the same as regular armor, standard armor, but you can toggle it on and off, and you are invisible to enemy sensors. That includes heat vision,
Heat level critical.
UAVs, seismic sensor, all that, but you do not dissipate heat, and in some maps you actually gain heat.
Did I just see a smoke screen?
That's from
No.
the walls.
Yeah, that's from the
hilarious.
wall.
Oh, okay.
They're made of asbestos.
So it's best to take it. If you take on something that's all energy, it's best to not toggle it on, keep it on all the time because you will overheat.
Right. But a DDC with that gives a beautiful suddenly Atlas.
Yeah. It really is. You can be super spooky with that one. Super spooky Atlas.
That and the heavy Gauss, and all of a sudden just boom, 25 points of damage out of nowhere.
That makes a lot more sense for what just happened in a match today. It's like an Atlas was just like hanging out like no one saw him.
Yeah, that's stealth armor most likely. If it's a DDC, yeah. I need to outfit mine that way because it's a thing of beauty.
With this new nerf to medium lasers, my large pulse actually cools down faster than my medium laser now.
Well, they didn't go through with the nerfs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm guessing they're saying it was because people were upset that it was too much too fast. No, what I think it was people were canceling pre-orders like mad.
Of course they would. They killed off all the lights and mediums with that nerf.
They killed off everything
Yeah.
with that. When large lasers are charging faster than freaking
Yeah.
It's like they went,
mediums.
let's just kill the inner sphere and push everything to extreme range meta.
Yeah. When the medium laser is supposed to be the staple.
Yeah.
Heat level.
You know, it is the standard weapon of the inner sphere.
But by the way, I got banned from the forums.
How'd you manage that?
How'd you piss off Tina?
Apparently it wasn't Tina, it was a self-appointed public mod who didn't like the fact that
Heat
somebody
level
asked,
critical.
who does the balancing? Is it an actual team? And I jokingly said, no, it's just one guy and he's drunk most of the time. Apparently that's
Heat
enough to get us
level
7 day
critical.
ban.
Is that Matt?
Oh.
No, it wasn't mad, it was some guy I never heard of before. I think he's new.
I was gonna say one of those mods is your buddy.
Yeah.
Well, Scott Derrick is on hiatus,
Oh.
unfortunately, and Mike, Randall Mike didn't know about it.
Oh.
But it was interesting because I was on my business trip and I was checking the personal email and there's this message, dude. You know, this post is a harassment and an attack against PGI employees, blah, blah. Based on this and your past history, which I'm thinking, past history, what? Based on this and your past history, I've deemed it necessary to give you a 7-day ban. I'm like, what's the past history? That bugs me, honestly, because I don't really do much on the forums.
New target
Past history part
acquired.
bugs me more. It's like,
Maybe
I
that
have no
you
idea
don't
what
have a
he's
past
talking about.
history?
Those forums are so toxic. I don't go anywhere near
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
The Brown Sea
New
is
target
If I was
definitely a no-go.
if I was one of those devs, I would never look at those forums, man. They'd be so disheartening.
Hey, what's going on?
Guess let's kill each other time. We got 2 minutes
Yeah,
left.
I'm already legged.
Yeah, I laid you.
After I tried to behead Blue.
Yeah, what was the deal with that?
I wasn't sure where the head was on the Nova.
Yeah, you pretty much found it.
Well, the Warhammer was on a tear, so can you blame him?
Alpha Lance, target Charlie.
Roger that.
Oh, did you... You know who Fantastic Tuesday is, right, Nightmare?
Do what?
You know who Fantastic Tuesday is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mech Warrior, right?
He's got... well, he's one of the more famous YouTubers in the game. He's got a video where all he did was soundboard Mech Commander.
Yes.
That was
Black
awesome.
Skull critical damage.
I want to import those sounds so badly.
There's also a video where Russ kind of took it as spam, as one of his videos as spam, and blocked him. That was glorious.
Wow.
Really? Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Well, as long as I'm dead, I think my dinner's here, so I'm gonna go eat. I'll see you guys in a few.
Alright. Wait, Russ blocked him from the game?
No, no. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, just blocked him from,
Yeah, from his Twitter. What in the world?
Russ is a little hypersensitive sometimes.
Russ is a bitch.
Oh, nice shot.
Thank you.
I wonder if you finished his head off.
I think that's CT.
Nope, CT.
Oh, okay.
My head was yellow though.
Just look at this helper this video's got. Oh,
Destroyed.
that hurt.
Yeah.
Warriors.
Oh, time's up.
Oh, that works.
Also, I had to
Glorious.
watch the clock.
Nice.
Trying to
I
use
love it
that
when a
speed
round
maneuverability.
ends and you win like that. That's always fun.
Do what?
I said I love it when you win a round, and that's because everybody's like, wait, whoa, whoa, what?
Have you seen the video of my locust on scouting? It's me versus 4 guys on Forest Colony, and there's 3 points left, and so 3 of them post up at the points, and the last one hunts me. and it's like and they catch me inside the triangle, and all I do is just ping around the walls of the triangle until the dropship comes. And they're trying so hard to catch me, and I'm using every scrap of skill I've got to keep them from killing me. And like, I'm running and zigzagging, like shots are hitting, just detonating in the water around me, and lasers are whipping around me and stuff, and I'm just ducking through trees, and trees are getting hit and fall. You know, there's an explosion, and trees fall across in front of me, and I'm just bobbing and weaving, and it was nuts. It was like an 8-minute free-for-all fest with just guns blazing, and I was in like 4 sectors mainly on that map, just running in circles pretty much. They were getting mad. They were getting frantic. That was the best part. The harder they tried, the more desperate they got. And then the dropship came and landed near them, closer to them than me, so it came to a smoke dive. And I'm running up against all 4 of them, diving into the smoke at the last second. Oh, it was glorious. They were so mad at the end of it.
Sorry to interrupt you, but are we gonna? Do we need to set up a lobby or not a lobby?
If you guys want to keep going, we can. Otherwise, we'll go to drops. What do you guys want to do?
I'm good with drops, but it's your show right now.
Let's do some drops. It's 10 o'clock, and it's actually 10:10, so it's been an hour, and I think it's time to run some matches.
All right. I'm gonna grab a drink while somebody sets that up. I'll be back.
I'm gonna need another beer.
Exactly.
Blue Studio, you guys get all your questions answered?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, thanks a lot.